radio check, radio check. Hey, there we go. Let me see, everything is okay. Yes, okay, everything's all right. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the Racing Statistics YouTube channel. Today we are here to the she almost got run over. We are here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It finally went ahead, but not for everyone. We already are having some people with problems here. So how are you all doing? Yeah, audio great. Good to hear. Good to hear. So yeah, just FYI, I'm letting you all know, we have 18 drivers who are starting this race. We're already 2 down. So Mick Schumacher's not going to be taking part in this race after yesterday, and Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki is not going to be taking part either. He had his car stop on the go into the grid, not even on the formation lap, on the go into the grid lap. And yeah, so he is not going to start. And doing great, Ryan. You? I'm doing good, community. But yeah, we have a very, very, very interesting grid today. With Perez. I didn't realize this yesterday. That was the first pole position ever for Perez. I was sure that he had one last year, but apparently he didn't. So yeah, this was a much bigger occasion than I thought it was. And yeah, full congratulations to Sergio Perez. My dad actually told me well, Sergio's his favorite driver, so he was like, oh my god, did you see? And I was like, yeah, he got pole. He was the first pole position. Like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I missed that. So yeah, that's a much bigger deal than I gave it credit for. So yeah, congratulations, Sergio Perez. And yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. After, well, behind him we have Charles Leclerc, and then we have Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen on the second row. Esteban Ocon will be starting on the third row, so P5 and P7 for Alpine, who seem to be commanding the midfield, at least for this race, with the Haas of Kevin Magnussen starting on P11 or P10. Let me see actually the graph here. Yeah, P10, and the Alphas starting on P8 and P12. We'll have to see about that. Also, Gasly starting P9, so everyone is behind the Alpines there, and the Alpines, well, outqualified one of the Mercedes, so that is good for them. Who yeah, they are really confident. I just heard an interview with Esteban Ocon, who is yeah, very looking forward to the rest of this season. They're saying that everything that they are trying is working, and it's working well, and they seem to be willing to close the gap to the guys in front. So that's going to be super interesting to see how it develops across the rest of the season. So another news, Daniel Ricciardo qualified P11 or P10 yesterday. I think it was P11, and he got demoted to P14 due to a grid drop for impeding Esteban Ocon on Q1. So that meant that Hamilton, Schumacher meant that Hamilton starting P15. So everyone's moving up a place. Tsunoda is right now on P19 on the chart there on the stream, but he's not going to be taking part in this race. So just an FYI. Does it really say constrictor? Where does it say constrictor? Let me go here. Oh yeah, F1 2022 constrictor standings. Well, it's a typo. Come on, the I is right next to the O. That's something that can happen. There's no problem with that. You guys understand what it says, of course. Vamos con el plan, says Squeeps. Yes, vamos con el plan. I have some chocolate here that I was just eating. for the start. Sorry, I was a few minutes late. Me, just like Amy, was having a shit. So that is something that happens sometimes. We are human here too, as well. Are we gonna see the race? No, you're not gonna see the race. Yeah, I got unused to saying this. So full disclaimer, this is not going to be the actual race. Showing the footage of the race is illegal. What we're going to be doing here is doing a watch along, which is alternate commentary with some publicly available information, such as drivers going around the circuit, the timing sheets, and perhaps some extra stuff like live standings and whatnot. So yeah, this is a watch along. This is not a race stream. So yeah, what about McLaren? What about them? They're slow and at the back, and having penalties due to impeding other drivers, pretty much. So yeah, that is it. Not much else to say about the McLarens, but yeah, Yuki's not gonna be starting the race, as I said before, and that is really good for him. To not be happy, like that's a free pass not to take part on this completely disgusting circuit that shouldn't exist. That's good for them. That's good for him. Well, yeah. You better not speak about food next month, Ryan. I'm gonna go 5 stages of grief. Why next month? What's going on next month? ¿A qué hora es la carrera? Ya, en 3 minutos. Is this the actual race? Yeah, today we're going to have the race. So the tire compounds for this race are going to be the C4, C3, and the C2 compound. All of those in the top 10 pretty much have no new C4 compounds due to the aborted lap that they had to do when the accident happened, the accident there with Schumacher. But yeah, Tsunoda is going to be starting, well, not at all, with Latifi and Hülkenberg in front. Alex Albon and Lewis Hamilton will be on the second to last row. And Daniel Ricciardo is going to be ahead alongside Lance Stroll. So in P12, we will have Zhou Guanyu starting next to Lando Norris. On P10, we have Kevin Magnussen on the Haas with Pierre Gasly starting on P9. P8 will be for the other Alpha of Valtteri Bottas in behind Fernando Alonso on the Alpine. So for P6, we have the Mercedes of George Russell, and P5 with Esteban Ocon on the other Alpine in front. Max Verstappen will be starting on the second row next to Carlos Sainz, who's going to have a pit lane start, apparently. Charles Leclerc will start in second and Sergio Perez first. What happened to Carlos Sainz? So we're going to have 17 cars on the starting grid. What happened to Carlos? Where is Mick? At home. he's gonna miss this race and focus on the next one. They said it's more about next race than this one. Probably has to do with the fact that the car couldn't be fixed on time, which makes sense, seeing as in less than 24 hours they had to get a completely new car because it snapped in half pretty much. Next month is Ramadan for me, so you may go 5 stages of grief if you speak about food, Ryan. I'll try not to. I cannot promise anything. Okay, so Mick, earlier today was walking around the paddock. He's fine. He's good. Yeah, Sainz. I don't know what happened to Sainz. We'll have to see. Is Sainz won't race? Pit lane start. Yeah, it says pit lane start. Let me go. Can I go on board with Carlos? No, Carlos is on the grid. Carlos is right there. I don't know what's going on with the graphs. Carlos is on the grid and is going to be starting alongside his teammate and in front of Max Verstappen. Yeah, I don't know what it said there. It was completely wrong. Carlos Sainz didn't have any problems. He's going to be starting this race. And well, any second now we'll get the formation lap going. 3, 2, 1, come on. There we go. The formation lap is underway. Leading is Sergio Perez, of course, with the 2 Ferraris behind and Max Verstappen in 4th position. Then behind we have the Alpine of Esteban Ocon in front of the Mercedes of Russell. And then once again, another Alpine, that of Fernando Alonso in front of Valtteri Bottas and Magnussen and the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly. So that is her top 10 for today, at least for the start of the race. The predicted strategy is a one stop at around lap 15 to 20 to go from the mediums to the hards, or a two stop going around lap 37 from the mediums to the hards to the mediums once again. So expect to see around the lap 13 to lap 20, a lot of stuff going on around the pits. And then from lap 31 to 37, also some action going around there for the cars that decided to make a second stop. I was really surprised with the amount of system resources that F1 TV uses. It pretty much bottoms, it bottoms everything related to video streaming. So if I have the stream on another window, I have to have it in 144p, because otherwise the stream starts lagging. That's something that happened late in last year. So yeah, right now, I mean, I have an okay system. I have a Ryzen 7. I have 12 gigs of RAM. It's not a potato, let's say, but yeah, apparently it's just too much, and the stream starts to F1 TV starts to lag when that happens. Are we gonna see the cars, or is it a live ticker? Yeah, it is going to be. You're going to see the cars on the map, not the actual footage. Hello, advice. It would be nice if you could tell us the team radio of the races. Well, yes, of course. I always do that. As soon as team radio starts, I stop everything I'm saying. I tell you guys which driver it's coming from, and then I listen to it, and then I tell you if it's important, what it is, and if it's not, I'll also tell you, okay, nothing important. It just has to do with some tires or something like that. Yes, of course. I always do that. That was my nose again. I'm sorry, I forgot to mute my mic. I heard Sainz's car is fixed and he will be starting. Yes, he will be starting. Where can you see the actual race? I'm watching on F1 TV. That's f1tv.formula1.com. It's a subscription that I have to pay. But yeah, it gives me a lot of information useful for the stream, like the live footage, the live map, the strategy, the sectors, qualifying, everything. The mini sectors as well. Has it started yet? No, any second now. Why is Hülkenberg on the track? Because Vettel was not clear to race this weekend due to contracting COVID last week. Number of rounds, 22 this year. It was going to be 23, but then the Russian Grand Prix got cancelled. Lothar Wolff, welcome to the channel, dude. So yeah, thank you so much. We are going to get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are racing. That is a great start from the Ferrari, and also that is Sergio Perez in front. The other Red Bull is also really going around the inside of the other Ferrari. That is Charles Leclerc going outside. Carlos Sainz getting overtaken by Max Verstappen. There's no carnage around the back. There was one car that went really wide. I think that was one of the Alphas. That is both of the Alpines going side by side with the Mercedes of George Russell. There's going to be one in front, one in back. That is Kevin Magnussen going side by side, wheel to wheel with Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly has to concede that position, but these cars are racing really close, and it looks really fucking cool. That is already moving a lot of places up. Is that? Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I thought that's Lance Stroll. I thought it was Lewis Hamilton between the two McLarens, but it was actually Lance Stroll. Lewis Hamilton, that was right behind that second McLaren, who moved up a few positions. That was Daniel Ricciardo, who got the 3-place grid drop and is now right behind Lance Stroll and right behind the other McLaren in P11. So Ricciardo moves up into P13 already. That is Hamilton in P14, Albon P15, Hülkenberg P16, and that is Zhou dropping up a few positions all the way down to the back of the grid, P18 for Zhou Guanyu. Oh, that was a mouthful. So right now we have Perez leading from Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Ocon, Russell, Alonso, Bottas, Magnussen, and Gasly. So that is Carlos Sainz losing one position there in the start to Max Verstappen. That was a little bit of smoke, as that is Lewis Hamilton locking up as he tries to get close and overtake Daniel Ricciardo, but does not manage to do so. We also saw some smoke up ahead with the midfield drivers. Yeah, there was some some smoke, a little bit of locking up there as well, as we see Lando Norris trying to overtake Pierre Gasly. Moving around the outside, around the inside, he does make the move stick, and that is Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris moving up into P10, dropping Gasly down to P11. As Zhou Guanyu gets past Nicolas Latifi for P17. Now we see Latifi at the back of the pack. Is Schumacher not racing? No, Schumacher is not racing. Tsunoda out. Tsunoda never started, by the way. I told you, Tsunoda's not going to be starting this race. Vote for Yuki as driver of the day because he's giant balls. Yeah, he didn't get the start, unfortunately. Oh man, another Red Bull car. Yeah, he got some issues going to the formation lap, going to the grid. The car stopped and he had to, well, push it back. And yeah, he didn't quite manage to get it. Okay, so that was Carlos Sainz getting the door shut from his teammate, which eventually led him to be on the pro by Max Verstappen, who went side by side into turn 2 and eventually managed to gain that position. But yeah, Carlos Sainz had a better start than his teammate, but Leclerc was just not gonna take it. He went really close, pretty much pushed Carlos against the wall, but seeing as he was behind, he was forced to brake a little bit, lift off, not brake, but lift off, and that gave the position to Max Verstappen. We are now on board with the replay by Lewis Hamilton, the replay of the start. We saw Zhou Guanyu. Yeah, he had a poor start right there into turn 1. He went around the inside, and he was the driver who got left out there, who had to brake hard. He got passed by Ricardo. He got passed by Lewis Hamilton as well. So yeah, we are now on board with Zhou Guanyu. Let's see what happened there, team radio. Fucking same problem again, he says. Yeah, he perhaps had an issue there with the clutch release going to the start of the race when the lights went out. He almost collided with the side of, oh, no, he dropped down a lot there, Zhou Guanyu. Yeah, he had some big issues there with the clutch and engaging the first few gears. That's why he dropped down so much. So the launch was actually a bit subpar, but the problem came a few seconds later. So that is now Russell. We are on board with him, or is that, yeah, that is Lewis Hamilton we're on board with, chasing down Daniel Ricciardo. We were just on board with Russell, who is also extremely close to Esteban Ocon. These new cars are really allowed to chase each other from a very short distance, so that is going to lead to better overtakes and more, well, closer racing. There's no longer that 2-second gap that drivers start to completely lose everything from, oh, George Russell going around the inside, and he manages to get the move on Esteban Ocon, at least as of now. Let's see, Russell is up into P5 right now, but Ocon is not going to let him off the hook. Russell has DRS, but still Ocon tries to go around the outside. That is not going to be enough. That is it for now, but that behind we see Bottas trying to overtake Alonso, not making it through. That is Stroll almost getting overtaken, and that is Lando Norris going really wide on turn 1, as he was almost overtaken by Gasly into the first corner as well. He had to miss his braking point, and that is also Lewis Hamilton all around the back of Daniel Ricciardo's McLaren on P14 and P13 respectively. He's really trying to make up those positions that he lost yesterday in qualifying with a really poor setup that made him lose all the grip and made him porpoise a lot though. So yeah, let's see what he can do. It's a recovery drive today for the Mercedes driver, for Lewis Hamilton, but it's not on prime. It's not on the prime state that they were on the previous season. He's complaining, Lewis Hamilton, about the grip on the tires. He's saying no grip right now. He is on the hard tire as well. Hamilton, for the second race in a row, struggling a lot with grip on the hard compound tire this race, sorry, is the C2 compound as opposed to the C1 we had last week. How many laps total again? We have 50 laps. 50 laps for this race today. 50 laps is the total. We are on lap 4 of 50 right now, so we have 46 laps to go. So Mercedes right now are sitting on P5 and P14. Right now we have Perez still leading 1.7 seconds. Oh, that is Pierre Gasly getting the move on, yeah, on Lando Norris, regaining that position. I don't know if he let him through. It looks like that, and that is Fernando Alonso going around the inside. Oh, he almost collided into the back of Esteban Ocon. That is definitely not something the Alpine pit wall would want to see. Otmar Safnauer is on the radio with Esteban. You cannot close the door like that. They almost collided. That was DRS wide open for Fernando, but Esteban was having none of it. Billy96, welcome to the channel, my dude. Became a member as of now. And yeah, welcome. Thank you for your support. Remember, guys, if you like the stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the stream. And if you are interested, oh yeah, that was extremely dangerous by Esteban. Extremely dangerous. But as I was saying, if you want to support the channel even more, you can always donate, super chat, whatever. It really does help us out a ton to continue with the quality and everything on the and everything here on the stream. So yeah, if you guys enjoy so far, if you guys have been with us for a while, make sure to drop a like. Tell Esteban to defend like a lion. Yeah, pretty much. So Esteban and Fernando, DRS once again for Fernando on the back. He's probably going to be he's probably going to get told to let Fernando by. That is definitely not going to happen again. What just we saw on the previous lap, that them almost colliding, that was completely unnecessary. And Fernando with DRS on the pit straight. Let's see, can Esteban defend? Fernando goes wide, and yes, he can. So he closed the door early. So Fernando was forced to go on the outside, but he is still right on the back of Esteban. Side by side they go. Esteban defends once again. P6 is the battle, is the spot for the battle here. P6 and P7 they are, and Fernando, I think, has let go a little bit of the throttle, and he's going to regroup and come back in a few laps. Verstappen dropped Sainz. Verstappen got in front of Sainz on the start. Esteban, Fernando is faster than you. There was a lot of talking for the first 6 laps, wasn't it? Just been a lot going on there. I really like this new formula, guys. I really do. 50 laps. Yes, 50 laps is the total for this race. We have Russell in P5, Alonso on P7. Russell is getting the gap is widening. Sorry, the gap is becoming shorter and shorter by the lap between Alonso and Russell, with Ocon there still in the middle. Alonso's going to go for it once again around the main straight here. DRS wide open. Is he going around the outside? Is he going around the inside? Let's see. Alonso goes around the outside. Yes, and he's past Esteban Ocon into turn 1. Ocon is not going to give up that position so easily, though. They are side by side, but into turn 3, Ocon has to eventually concede that position to his teammate. Fernando Alonso is up in front, and into turn 5 he goes in P6. Let's see if he can hunt down the Mercedes in front, or is he going to get some payback by his teammate, who is right now on his slipstream and with the RS, Esteban Ocon. Yeah, those Alpines are looking really racy. What happened to Yuki? He did not start this race. Hamilton not doing any progress. Yeah, he has no grip, he said, with those tires, although he's 4 tenths behind Daniel Ricciardo right now. We are on board with Verstappen team radio. The lights of Leclerc don't work in the back of his car. Yeah, so Leclerc has no lights on the back of his car. Just it's different. It's difficult to battle a car when you do not know when he's deploying or harvesting energy. It's a bit more of a guessing game there, as we see Carlos Sainz on the back there. There's already a big gap between the Red Bulls and Ferraris and the rest of the field, as Esteban Ocon goes around the outside once again into turn 1. That is, Yes, tries to get back at Fernando Alonso, but it goes really wide and he gains a few seconds off of that. And that is Valtteri Bottas gaining on the Alpines that are really battling it out between them. They have to get it sorted together. Otherwise, they're going to start losing positions, mainly to Valtteri Bottas, who is also on the battle now for 6th position, with Ocon now back in front with DRS across into turn 1. Ocon went in too deep. He's perhaps going to have to give that position back as they come around the start of the 2nd sector right now. And that is Alonso going side by side with Esteban. Yes, I think that was Esteban letting him past and letting him go, and that is Bottas right on the back of the Alpines, just manages to stay ahead. Esteban Ocon behind the Alpine. Turn 1 incident involving Alonso and Ocon noted. Yeah, that was definitely Ocon handing that position back on a convenient spot as to not lose another place to Valtteri Bottas, as they are both going almost side by side again into the final corner. Are they going to have DRS? There's a bit of a train now developing all the way down to Magnussen, a DRS train that Fernando Alonso is leading. That pack is really, really close and really battling. And that is Fernando Alonso, who manages to stay in front at least for lap 9 of 50 now. And that is Ricciardo into the pits. Daniel Ricciardo has come in right now as Magnussen joins the back. And that is Ocon battling it out with really fine margins to Bottas and to Magnussen. Now listening to Otmar. Okay, so I think, yeah, Otmar is saying they're going to settle in and they're going to start pulling in front because it was really dangerous and really close that, and not only the battle, but the positions, they were almost compromised, the two of them. Welcome, Brian Wine Hughes. Hughes? Hughes? Brian Wine Hughes. Yeah, Hughes. I don't know. Welcome to the channel, dude. It is greatly appreciated. Ocon doesn't know how to cooperate. It is so bad they will lose the position. No. I don't think they will be fighting anymore. Right now, they are settled in, as Otmar said. So once the team order is through, they are locking positions. They said they were going to let them race at the beginning, but right now the positions are set. That is Pierre Gasly closing in on the midfield pack there. But Fernando and Ocon are starting to pull a little bit in front of the rest of the other two cars of Bottas and Magnussen. It is marginal right now, but it's starting to mount up. Charles Leclerc, team radio. We are going Plan A. Degradation is better than Red Bull. He just got told. So Leclerc is going with Plan A. It's pronounced Hughes. All right, Hughes. And that is Lewis Hamilton moving up a position in front of Lance Stroll. Lewis Hamilton is up into 12th now. He made up 2 positions. I think it was Zhou and now Stroll. It was Ricciardo and now Stroll. Yeah, Ricciardo pitted and he overtook Stroll, but Hamilton is complaining he has no pace on that car with those tires. Ricciardo has pitted and is now on the hard compound tires down at the back of the pack on P18 right now. Watching from Kenya, Africa. Hey, George, thank you. Science Team Radio. Science is on Plan B. So Science is on Plan B. So the pit window for the 2-stop strategy is going to open up in just 2 laps, in lap 13 of 50. We are currently on lap 11. So Alonso and Ocon are still really close to each other as Magnussen and Bottas are battling each other. Magnussen tried to go around the inside into turn 1, but just went wide. They both did as Zhou goes in front of Lance Stroll. But yeah, car incident involving Norris and Magnussen reviewed, no further investigation. All right, I don't really know what happened there, but yeah, as of now, we just have Bottas and Magnussen battling it out for P8 right now. Magnussen came with the RS around the back of Valtteri Bottas, tried to go around the inside, but he just went a little bit too deep and he misses braking point. Bottas got a better line into turn 1 and into turn 2. That's how he managed to stay in front and ahead. We also have right here the two Alpines who are starting to pull in front, starting to pull ahead. And right now they are free of the DRS of Bottas and Magnussen right now, even though they are really close between each, within each other. Yeah, those two are really close still. A few tenths. That's all that's splitting them. That is Lewis Hamilton. So incident involving Zhou and Albon and their investigation. We missed that one unless it was the missing the breaking point from the earlier on in the race. We are now on board with Hamilton, who's getting really close to Lando Norris, going around the inside. A little bit of locking up by Lewis Hamilton, but just marginally as Hamilton manages to get in front of Norris and up into 11th place. Pierre Gasly is up ahead now with a 3-second gap in front. Lando Norris trying to get it back. Oh, that is Esteban Ocon going really wide, trying to overtake Fernando Alonso once again. Yeah, they try to overtake each other again, and Alonso Alonso once again came out in front, but that also closed the gap to Bottas again. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we are now seeing a replay. Ocon went around the inside into turn 1 and just was forced to run wide and quite deep, and then had to give that position back to Alonso. Lap 13 out of 50. Oh, Jensen is now talking about getting past Fernando Alonso, and he says it's not easy. Ari Sarinen also just joined the channel. Welcome aboard, dude. And that is Fernando Alonso holding back Esteban Ocon once again, who had the DRS and tried to close down, but it was not enough even to get side by side. So he just stayed behind. Right now, there is a 5/10, 6/10 difference between the two Alpine drivers. Ocon is going back to being a bad teammate, just like Force India days. I don't think so. I don't think he was a bad teammate in Force India. I think they were two very, very, very badly teammates. But right now they are not disrespecting each other. They're not racing each other with like dangerously. There was one dangerous move that he probably got. So 5-second time penalty for Zhou. By the way, Zhou and Yu is got a 5-second penalty, which drops him down to P15 right now. But yeah, as I was saying, that is not that's just racing. They're letting each other race. Ocon team radio. Hold position. Yeah, so he's being told to hold position now, so he's not going to overtake Alonso anymore. He's just going to try and pull away with his teammate in front of Bottas, who's now back again within the DRS range of them. Bottas is on P8. These cars these cars look much faster than last year's. I really do love that. Perhaps it's because it's a narrow street circuit. That also might be it. But they do look mighty fast. And that is Bottas going on the overtake on Ocon, and Bottas manages to get past one of the two Alpines. right now, and Ocon is not gonna let that position go. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Ocon is gonna fight nail and tooth for that position once again, as Lewis Hamilton gets past Pierre Gasly and is now up into the points, up into P10, as Lance Stroll is the first of the drivers to pit within the window, followed closely by Albon, who also came in. Hard compound tires going in for Stroll. He gets held up a little bit in the box by Albon. And I think that is also the hard compound going in for Albon. We are now seeing a replay of Lewis Hamilton overtaking the AlphaTauri. It was around the inside into turn 1 with the RS, not sweating it too much. Pretty similar to what we saw with Bottas going around the outside him, in contrast to Hamilton. And yeah, getting the move done clearly into turn 1. So 1.1 seconds from Ocon to Bottas. Leclerc team radio. Box to overtake. So they're probably going to try and do the undercut on Perez. The gap is now 2.3 seconds from Perez to Leclerc. Jem saying the GOAT, showing what I would, the GOAT. All right, thank you for your comment. Yeah, Charles, I think he's going to go for the undercut on Perez right now. He is 1.6 seconds behind Ocon team radio. Okay, so I just missed that. I'm sorry. But it's probably to do with Bottas there. Leclerc team radio. Box to overtake. So yeah, he is going to come in. Are Red Bull going to respond with this? Yeah, Ferrari and Red Bull are both coming out here. So both Leclerc is going to stay out. So I think that was a bit of a... I think that was on purpose. So the Red Bull came in, going to fit the hard tires, and now Leclerc has got clean air in front with those mediums. Yeah, so now Checo is going to come out behind. That is Russell. So he's going to have a little bit of traffic there. Russell is now clearly in front of Checo. Is he going to... that is not good for him. Definitely not good for him to come out right behind Russell on 16-lap-old mediums. Sergio having to warm up those tires, and let's see what Leclerc can make from this situation. Perhaps it's going to stay a few more laps until Checo can get clear of... Oh, that is... Oh, yellow flag on sector 3. Yellow flag on sector 3. That is Pierre Gasly, who had some issues with that tire, and that is Nicolas Latifi. Latifi has crashed. Niki Latifi has crashed right now. Yeah, yellow flag. That is going to be a safety car. That is going to change. That is going to change the race for sure. That is going to be a huge advantage for Leclerc, and well, actually for virtual safety car. Okay, so it's going to be a huge advantage for Leclerc and for Perez as well. Oh, not for Perez, actually, for Leclerc though. And that is Max Verstappen coming in. Latifi is saying he doesn't know what happened there. Sainz also coming in. So the two Ferraris and Max Verstappen. Oh, they almost collide there in the pit lane. Max Verstappen didn't want to let Carlos through. Sergio Perez is going to be really far behind them. And yes, he is. George Russell comes into the pits, and we now see Perez has lost 3 positions under the safety car. He gets collected. The leader, Charles Leclerc, gets collected by the safety car, and it's now a full-on safety car. That is bad luck. Sergio Perez is now on third position, just pitted one lap too bad, pretty much. Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, all into the pits. Magnussen is staying out, by the way. Hamilton as well. Magnussen perhaps is going to bank on future safety car or something. Did he start Magnussen on the hard tires? He did, so it's going to go long for this first stint. So is Hamilton and so is Russell. So every driver out on the circuit is going to be on the hard compound tires. So everyone is on the hard tires. So the ones who started on the hards are going to not pit right now, are going to try and stay out in front and make an advantage of this and bank on a future safety car here at the Saudi Arabian track. So that was a bit of oversteer by Latifi and tried to correct it, and he just went straight into the wall. Yeah. Very much like a Monaco-like crash, this one. Latifi paid to crash. Yeah, Latifi is the Joker here. The Joker card. So Russell, Magnussen, and Hamilton haven't pitted. Everyone else has. Well, Hülkenberg hasn't pitted either. Yes, I think that's it. So it's Russell, Hamilton, Magnussen, and Hülkenberg who haven't pitted. Everyone else has. Alonso has come out in front of Hülkenberg. That is going to be great for the restart. Not so much for Bottas, Ocon, Ricardo, and Norris to have a slower car out in front. More so for Bottas and Ocon, who are the current midfield drivers that are behind Hülkenberg, who is more of a backmarker team that Aston Martin. He's going to be costing them a few tenths a lap, that's for sure. Meanwhile, in front, Alonso is going to have to battle it out with the Mercedes and the Haas on aging rubber, as he has the new fresher compound of hard tires that he has to get up to temperature in order to be able to work into the window of grip. I think this has been so far. This is just a remark I'm going to make, a personal remark. I just wanted to let you guys know. I think this has been one of my better commentaries since I started, at least so far. Oh, Carlos Sainz got pushed off by, who was that? Sergio Perez on the exit into turn one. We'll see what happens there. Sorry, I missed the part. Why is there a virtual safety car? There's a full-on safety car right now. Because Nicolas Latifi went wide and oversteered and crashed into a corner. So yeah, that was a big issue with the stop with the front jack. For Zhou and Yu, the front jack just wasn't going up, so they had to put on a secondary one, and that cost him a few positions there as well. Zhou is now on P15 when he came out there of the pits. Full safety car, yes, full safety car. We are on lap 18 of 50 right now. And the rundown of the drivers are, we have Charles Leclerc leading this race in front of Verstappen and Perez, with Carlos Sainz on P4. And then a little bit far behind on the midfield, we have George Russell, Kevin Magnussen, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Nico Hülkenberg. I'm going off of memory because the graph just went out. Nico Hülkenberg, Valtteri Bottas, and Esteban Ocon, with the two McLarens right behind, if I'm not mistaken. Magnussen P6, says Lucas. Yes, but you have to keep in mind that Neither Magnussen nor the two Mercedes have pitted so far. Magnussen, Hamilton, Hülkenberg. Oh, Russell, has he pitted? Let me see. Okay, so Russell did come in. So Magnussen and Hamilton and Hülkenberg are the only ones not to have pitted so far. So Sainz and Perez was a safety car infringement. We'll have to see what the penalty ends up being for. Maybe Perez, maybe Sainz. We'll have to see. They kind of raced there. I don't know what happened. Perez getting a penalty. If it is decided that he was in front, that he was behind, sorry, and that he was, he blocked Carlos Sainz, then he probably will get a penalty. But if it is ruled that it's not, if it's ruled that Sergio was in front when it came to Carlos Sainz, then he will not get a penalty. It was just noted that the problem was a safety car infringement. That is it. That's all we got. Safety car still? Yes, I will let you guys when the safety car is coming in, and you will hear me screaming because of the restart when I always scream. I can't believe I'm seeing a Haas being sandwiched by two Mercedes. Yeah, me neither. I like Sainz a lot, but it seemed like Perez was ahead to me. Could be wrong though, but I don't think Perez has to give the position back. Let's see. Let's go on board. I think it was Perez in front. I also really like Carlos Sainz, but I think it was Perez in front. Yes, they were pretty much side by side, and Carlos tried to get ahead, but he couldn't. So I think it was Sergio's position, that one. K-Mag's back probably hurts by carrying that ass, yeah. So a lot of tire warming up by all the drivers on the midfield there from Alonso back. Nico started 17th and is now 9th due to that not stopping. Safety car is coming in this lap. The track has been cleared, the debris as well. So this is going to be it. Leclerc is going to be leading the pack, and this is going to be the end of the safety car period. So safety car is ending. Safety car is coming in this lap. Which lap is it? It is lap 20 of 50. So we're nearing in on the midway point of this race. And that is Leclerc leading this pack as of now, as the safety car starts to pull ahead a little bit. That is going to be a lot of lockups going into turn one. They are really trying to get some temperature into the tires desperately, it looks like. As of now, Leclerc is slowing down the pack. Amazing comeback by Hamilton. Neither Hamilton nor Magnussen have pitted, by the way. Let you guys know that. Going side by side, Max Verstappen with Leclerc. Let's see. Leclerc is gonna go when he wants to go. Max Verstappen's not making it easy for him. But as soon as they are across the line, it is anyone's game. Let's see. Across the final corner is a green flag. Leclerc slowing down the pack a lot, and he's in front, and he's going there. Leclerc is going with, a little bit of, okay, so that is some dust from the accident right now. I thought that was a bit of a problem or a lockup there. We have Leclerc leading in front of Max Verstappen, then Sergio Perez, and then it is Carlos Sainz. No lead changes going into turn one, but a little bit of a midfield battle there. Kevin Magnussen trying to go on the inside of George Russell, does not manage to do so. Russell maintains that position as Carlos Sainz goes side by side and is now in front of the guy he thought had overtaken him under safety car period. Checo Perez is now behind George Russell, behind Carlos Sainz, and being chased by George Russell very closely. Magnussen is still in front of Lewis Hamilton, and Alonso keeping Hülkenberg, Bottas, and Ocon behind. Bottas and Ocon still having that tussle from before. We can see a bit of a gap from Alonso to Hülkenberg starting to develop there. A 1 second gap is going to be really shortly, with the cars behind Hülkenberg being really bunched up. We see Hamilton trying to get on the back of Magnussen, but not quite managing to do so, as Magnussen seems closer to Russell than Hamilton is to Magnussen. Fernando Alonso is trying to close in on Lewis Hamilton as well. He's maintaining the gap a little bit, but it's just not as fast, at least as of now, from what it looks like. Nico Hülkenberg is falling a little bit behind. 7 tenths is now the gap to Alonso, and now from Alonso to Hamilton is pretty much the same. Hamilton and Magnussen's tires are 22 and 21 laps old respectively, and that is Magnussen locking up a little bit into turn one. Hamilton is really close to the back of him, but it's just not enough to make the move into the second DRS zone, as we are now across the start finish line with Charles Leclerc once again. Everyone with the is DRS open now? DRS is not open as of now. That would have made a lot of difference, but it will be very soon as we get nearer and nearer to the midway point of the season. Of the race. We are on lap 22 of 50 right now. Sergio Perez, team radio. Okay, Checo has to give the position back to Sainz, so that's what happened. It was not an overtake, it was just a position handing. So Leclerc is leading again from Verstappen, Sainz, Perez, and Russell, with Magnussen, Hamilton, and Alonso. Hülkenberg and Bottas a bit far behind on the pack. But yeah, Hamilton looks like he's getting a little bit away from Fernando Alonso. He's 1.5 seconds in front. And Magnussen is holding that gap magnificently. I don't know how he's maintaining that pace, but he's losing some. He's losing some to Russell in front, and Hamilton is getting closer, but he's managing to stay in front. Charles Leclerc sets a new fastest lap of the race, a 1:34.075, and I think in the next lap we are going to get DRS. Is this a one-stopper? For many drivers, it is going to be, unless they experience some out of the ordinary tire wear. But as of now, I think it is going to be a one-stopper for most of the drivers, except perhaps for Ricciardo, who came in really early in on this race. DRS has been enabled. The gap between the first 5 is 5 seconds, and the gap between the other 5 is 7 seconds. So it's still a really close pack right now. Everyone is now being able to use DRS. As Nico Hülkenberg comes under pressure by Valtteri Bottas, Bottas is getting closer and closer to the German driver who has yet to come in. And that is Lewis Hamilton getting past Kevin Magnussen. Lewis Hamilton, with the help of the DRS, is now into P6, but Magnussen is not letting him go that easily. Magnussen with the DRS gets close, gets on the inside line, side by side into the first corner, and Magnussen is back up ahead and into P6 as Leclerc gets the new fastest lap at 133.459 once more. And yeah, that is Bottas getting past Nico Hülkenberg as well. So Bottas is up into P9 right now, as Hamilton and Magnussen continue to battle, with Fernando Alonso closing in on the back of them due to them battling and losing a few tenths here and there. Alonso has clear track running and he is getting closer to them and to that battle. Apologize if you heard that. That's a bike on the street behind me. Hülkenberg must pit, yes, and so does Hamilton and Magnussen. Yeah, so Lewis, Nico, and Kevin all have to pit. Those three. So more DRS for Lewis Hamilton as he tries to get back at Kevin Magnussen. Hamilton with the RS around the outside, around the inside is going to make the move. It is not enough to make the move. Kevin Magnussen stays ahead and in P6 manages to retain that position as they now get a little bit and more behind the rest of the pack across the start-finish straight. Some more DRS around the inside. Lewis Hamilton tries to go. Kevin Magnussen lets him, but he tries to go around the clean lap and tries to get a cleaner exit out of turn 2. Kevin Magnussen is a much cleaner driver now than he was when he was last racing here in Formula 1. New fastest lap by Max Verstappen, 133.445. Yes, Magnussen before his retirement would have completely blocked that move and would have gone much more aggressive and defensive and would have been even dangerous. I could totally see that happening on the old Magnussen. I'm glad to see that that's not him anymore. And that is Ocon getting past Nico Hülkenberg as well. Ocon into turn 1, went side by side and then in front of Nico. There was a bit of smoke coming out of Leclerc's car. Max Verstappen team radio. Oh, Leclerc crossed the white line. Oh, so did Leclerc cross the white line or not there in the end? Okay, that's going to be something to investigate as well, as the two McLarens are trying to get past Nico Hülkenberg now. Zhou under investigation for not serving the penalty. So he got a 5-second stop that he should have taken on the pit stop, but he didn't. So he is under investigation, as well as that is Ricciardo getting past Nico Hülkenberg, with Lando Norris getting really close right now, and he's going to make the same move apparently with the DRS around the outside. That is not enough to make the move, as Nico is now the bottleneck between the back of the midfield and the front of them. P11, P12 he is right now, with P11 being for Daniel Ricciardo and P13 for Lando Norris. How many laps to go? We have 24 laps to go. So then Ricciardo pitted on lap 8, so way before the first or the two-stop strategy windows were open. But it's going to have to go for the two-stop unless Yeah, the start degradation is really slow, which I don't see happening. He got the buffer he needed on the safety car with the tire usage, and is probably going to go for the two-stop now. As Alonso gets really closed in by Bottas. Bottas is right now 4 tenths behind Fernando Alonso. Alonso is right on P8. Max Verstappen team radio. So yeah, so let's see how they evolve the battle between those two. They are getting really close, Leclerc and Verstappen. Let's see how close they can get. Talking about getting close, we just saw Bottas almost overtake Fernando Alonso, but not enough. Valtteri Bottas stayed right behind on his Alfa Romeo after not being able to get past into turn one with the RS. Let's see. Alonso perhaps has been saving those tires. Drive-through penalty for Zhou Yu after not serving on the pit stop. So he's got a drive-through now. Go Zhang Yu. Crofty just messed it up. Alonso is right now pushing a little bit and is in front of Bottas. I had a misshift. I don't know why. Strange, says Carlos Sainz. Just an FYI to the team and to be alert. But yeah, Alonso was saving those tires and is now starting to push due to him being really closed in by Valtteri Bottas. And yeah, the gap is now widening. Alonso's now got a 1.3 second gap back and a 1 second gap to the front. There was almost a 2 second gap to Magnussen a few laps back. So let's see Lando going around the outside of Nico Hülkenberg. We see on the helmet camera, and he gets the move done. Nico drops down another place, and he has to pit soon. What tires is he on? On the mediums? Or is he on the hards? He's on the hards, all right. So he's gonna push a few more laps. But right now that advantage is completely gone. He's one position behind Gasly, though. He has had some big issues trying to overtake. He was on the back of the points. He was P10 when we started with the safety car, and right now he is P14. So that's a big letdown for the AlphaTauri team, who were only having one driver start this race, and now it looks like the driver that they thought was going to get the points for the two drivers is going to finish without any at all. So that is a big disappointment, I'm sure, for the AlphaTauri team, for Franz Tost and the rest of the AlphaTauri pit box. What tire compounds are they on? Every single driver is on the hards. New fastest lap by Leclerc, a 1:32.7. Talking about Gasly, he's now having his go at Nico Hülkenberg. He's with the RS around the main straight now, I think. Yeah, that is the main straight. DRS, slipstream. I don't think it's going to make it this lap. Around the inside, yes, he manages to make it this lap. Around the inside, so Nico has now dropped down into P14. Why is Checo fourth? Because he got screwed with the first stop. He stopped, and then 30 seconds later, safety car. So that was a very bad stop for him. So Hamilton, Magnussen, and Hülkenberg have 30 lap old tires. The rest, yeah, is under 15 pretty much. Ricardo has 20 lap old tires because he stopped earlier on in the race. But yeah, all the others have around 15, between 12 and 15 lap old tires. Most of them 12 because they stopped on the safety car. So yeah, Leclerc is still leading this race. with Verstappen on P2, Sainz in P3, and Perez on P4. Russell and Hamilton behind P5 and P6, with Magnussen, Alonso, Bottas, and Ocon rounding out the points. So Sainz and Perez, no further investigation. The place has been given back, and yeah, that is pretty much it. Every 2 seconds, I'm looking at the chocolate that I was eating before the race, and I'm thinking I should have another piece, but that's not good for my throat at all. It's gonna be very bad for my throat, so I'm just gonna put it in a drawer and close the drawer, so I'm not looking at it anymore. Then after the race is done, I can get some treats. Why is the other Haas only K-Mac today? Yes, Mick is not starting the race after the accident of yesterday. Perez somehow lost ball and couldn't hold podiums. He's so bad of a driver. Okay, so clearly you weren't listening to the commentary and you weren't looking at the race. Yeah, not much else I can say here. Magnussen is the new Pierre. I'm all for that. Does the chocolate make your throat funny if you eat more? No. What I mean is it's if I have to speak for another hour and a half, it is going to hurt my throat. It's going to ache a lot. So yeah, because chocolate is rough on the throat, and I'm not the throat goat. So I'm hot in here. What's the temperature right now? It's 28. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the AC. So Fernando Alonso is getting chased by Bottas still, and Bottas is gaining on him. Close the window. There we go. Yeah, so Bottas is getting dangerously close to Alonso. So I'm thinking the overtake is going to happen in the next 2 laps unless Alonso can manage to get a gap in front. Perhaps he's saving those tires a little bit more. But yeah, that is top of the midfield, the battle, the spot that they're fighting for. Best of the rest. Throat goat, really? Yeah, I said it. What's a problem with it? You got a problem with it? Also interesting to see McLaren are actually above Aston Martin. So if they keep their trajectory, McLaren might actually be midfield and not backmarker. Williams is backmarker, or Aston says. Urek Masino. Yeah. I could totally see that, and that would be welcome. Perhaps they were just getting their bearings for the first race. But 1 second, as we are now going on board with Bottas around the main straight. Is he going to have the RS? Is he going to have the slipstream? Yes, both of them. But is he going to be able to make the move on Alonso? I don't think so. And it's not. Alonso manages to keep him back for 1 more lap. But yeah, going back to McLaren. Gonna have some time to breathe. Some designated time to breathe for this race. So going back to McLaren, yeah, it looks like they are at the back of the midfield. So that is good. Perhaps the first of the races that we saw last time out in Bahrain was just them getting used to the car and their braking issues, trying to see if everything was actually sorted out, and it was. So right now they can push a little bit more. Right now they're in P11 and P12, so we might even see some points if the strategy goes haywire with the Mercedes, or if someone crashes out in front. Verstappen team radio? Okay, so let Leclerc use up his tires. We can put pressure later on in the race. So he's letting Leclerc go a little bit. Verstappen. Charles Leclerc, new fastest lap at 132.683. I just joined. Why is Perez fourth? New tires? No, bad luck. Yeah, he came in, and then 30 seconds later, we got a safety car. So Perez got demoted a few places there because he lost. Yeah, everyone else pitted on the lap after under safety car, and it was a much faster stop because it was BSC and then actual safety car. So cars were going really slow. It was a double, well, slower than a double wave yellow across the whole circuit. Leclerc is right now, the gap is widening a little bit, 1.5 seconds to Verstappen, but Verstappen is not letting him go still. 1.5 seconds is not that bad considering he was 1.2 seconds just 2 laps ago when he was told to stop pushing. Haas will buy new doors and Fox smash them. Yeah. I'm watching live on TV and yet I still watch and listen to you. Well, thank you. That means a lot. It really does. That is Alonso trying to get to Kevin Magnussen in front. So Alonso is right behind Kevin Magnussen, who is on P7. Bottas has dropped down. He was right on the back of Bottas, right in front of Bottas, sorry. But now Bottas is 2.7 seconds behind. So Alonso has caught up and is now battling Magnussen for effective P5, P6, sorry, effective P6 after Hamilton and Russell both pit. Hamilton and Magnussen both pit. My bad. You taught me a lot about F1. This is my first year watching. Well, hello. Welcome to Formula One. Hope you're having a great time, and this is only the beginning. I hope you see you around for the rest of the season here on the channel, and for you to join the community that we've been building for the last few years. We have a lot of fun. And that is Alonso with the RS on the second zone, going around the turn 27 right there with the RS around the main straight. Fernando Alonso is going to get that move done easily. Let's see. DRS, slipstream. Let's see what Magnussen is going to defend like. He goes around the outside of Fernando, going around the outside and manages to get that move done. But Magnussen's not going to let him by. He is still really close. It's insane to see how close the cars can continue to follow for on this new formula. And Alonso's right now 3/10 in front of Magnussen. Is that gap going to widen or is it going to shrink as we see this lap continue to evolve? Will Ferrari pit again? Probably not. What lap is it? I think it's lap 28. I'll just check with you as soon as we get the graph back. Lap 35. All right. So it's lap 35 of 50. It's gone by a lot faster than I thought. And by the way, just a little disclaimer here. If you guys are interested in what I have to say, my opinions on Formula One, if you're new to the sport, I have a lot of content on my personal channel. That's Raian F1. The link is in the description. You can go check it out. Subscribe if you haven't already. New fastest lap by Max Verstappen at 132.474. But if you haven't already, and if you're interested in what I have to say about the sport, in some history, in some introduction to Formula One, like Hello just said, or anything else, a lot of interesting trivia about a sport, you can check everything out on my channel, Raian F1. There's some history of the drivers, some history of some teams, and that is Magnussen getting back at Fernando Alonso, just as I predicted, into turn 1 in lap 36. Alonso drops down to P8 and Magnussen is in front now. That is Alonso going really slow. Is there a problem? I think that's Fernando Alonso. Oh no, he let Ocon by. Or is it just going slow? No, Alonso's retiring from this race. Oh, no. Yeah, P4, stuck on fourth gear. Oh, God. Alonso was in P5, and yeah, he just lost power there. I don't know what happened. That's a mechanical issue, apparently. Let's see. Some smoke. No smoke. No oil. Oh, so overheating of the car by on Fernando Alonso's car. Yeah, Alonso's out of this race, guys. 100 kilometers an hour. That is very slow for a Formula One car, and he's coming back to the pits slow as he can. My God, that is, yeah, I'm devastated. Fuck's sake. Yeah, that is horrible to see. They were in for a best of the rest result. Fuck. And that is, oh, another car. That is Ricardo also slowing down. Ricardo stopped. Ricardo's also stopped on the entry to the pit lane. So overheating perhaps as well here. Alonso and Ricardo both overheating. Oh, God. Yeah, Ricardo got no drive, so a power unit issue apparently. So he cannot come in. The pit lane is going to be closed. Yellow flag on the third sector. Pit lane is going to be closed because there's a car in it. Let's see what happens there. Bottas came in. Oh, Bottas is also retiring the car. Bottas is also retiring the car. So 3 retirements in a single lap. Pit lane is open as of now. Mercedes are preparing to come in. That is Magnussen coming in as well. Is Kevin Magnussen going to box or is he going to retire as well? No, he's going to box. All right, so Kevin Magnussen is going to box on some used medium tires. Virtual safety car right now. Nico Hulkenberg coming in as well. Pit lane entry closed now, so no one else can come in. Hulkenberg was the last driver. Was the pit lane closed before or after he came in? And yeah, Alonso engine kill. Alonso's, yeah, also done here on the pit lane entry. So 3 retirements in a single lap. So we saw Hulkenberg, no, sorry, not Hulkenberg, Bottas, Alonso, and Ricardo all retiring within a few seconds of each other. Let's see, Daniel Ricardo on board. Just slow down to second gear and clutch in. Yeah, he lost the power there. Hamilton cannot slow down. Yeah, it was too late for Hamilton to come in. The pit lane was closed. But yeah, what a disappointment for Alonso, who was so frustrated. so frustrating to see that. He was in for a very good position. There was another safety car, perhaps even P5, P4. He was in fighting with the Mercedes drivers in front. Yeah, that is really bad. That is really bad for him. Ricardo as well. Ricardo was closing in on the points. First points for the team. He was a driver in front. Now he lost it again. And Bottas as well. Bottas was doing a hell of a drive. He was right behind Fernando Alonso. Well, actually, that was Magnussen, but he was right behind Magnussen as well for Aston Martin and for Aston Martin for Alfa Romeo. And yeah, he's now gone as well. So a lot of heartbreak in this lap. Right, so Ocon is now on P7. Norris is on P8, so they can get the scraps for the team. Yeah, that's better than nothing, I guess, for those two. Joe is down on P13, so there's not much he can do against Bottas. Damn, I'm so fucking pissed now. Such a waste. Those three drivers were doing such amazing races, and yeah, it all came undone now. That was the most interesting battle we've seen in quite a while, with Bottas and Alonso and Magnussen. But yeah, Magnussen has now pitted on new medium rubber. Hülkenberg as well. They are now on P12 Magnussen and P14 for Hülkenberg. Yeah, we're still on virtual safety car. Is the pit lane closed? Yes, it is. Yeah, sorry. I'm fucking pissed. I'm fucking pissed. Well, virtual safety car, 10 laps to go. So the BSC is ending as they push the car in. Those three were having a wonderful race. Yeah, literally, I was having a lot of fun, and now, well, I don't really care about the rest of the race anymore. But oh well. Yeah, Leclerc is still leading from Verstappen. Hamilton to radio. Will be coming in as soon as the pit entry is open. So that is right now. Hamilton is going to be coming in right now. So we have Leclerc leading from Verstappen, Sainz, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Ocon, Norris, Gasly, and Stroll. Yeah, my issue is those two drivers had won their positions. A bit of a slow stop for Mercedes. Had won their position, and now the drivers are inheriting those positions in front. And yeah, I have a lot of trouble with drivers deserving stuff and getting stuff that they don't deserve. But oh well, that's just me. That might not be another people, but that is just me. That is him coming behind Kevin Magnussen. So Hamilton is now behind Kevin Magnussen and in P12 as he comes out of the pit lane. Williams is in the points, by the way, as 5 drivers have retired or no started this Grand Prix. So Max Verstappen, no DRS, is 4 tenths behind Charles Leclerc. And yeah, there's no DRS. We'll have DRS in about 2 laps right now. 500 tire. What happened to Tsunoda? He didn't even start the race. Boring race. Last year was better. Dude, if those drivers, if Bottas and Alonso and Ricardo had finished the race, it would have been a great race. Super good driving, good defending, and everything. It's been an interesting race so far. But now there's a big gap between everyone involved here. And I think the racing is done now. Oh, so they do have DRS on this lap now. Bit of oversteer there by Max Verstappen on turn 2. As we can see on the replay. Albon scoring points. Maybe. Magnussen is right on the back of Stroll as Max Verstappen gets in front of Charles Leclerc, qualifies behind, but is now in front, moves with DRS. And now Charles has DRS on Max Verstappen around the start-finish straight. That is going to be an easy move around the outside by Leclerc, who manages to get in front of Verstappen into turn 1 and manages to regain that lead for the Ferrari team, for the Ferrari driver. Leclerc is now back in front and in P1 with 7 laps to go to this race. So Leclerc managing to hold that position there in the end in front of the Red Bull driver, but that is still not the end of the race. We still have 6 or 7 laps to go. And yeah, anything can still happen. We just saw 3 DNFs in the same lap, so that is Verstappen chasing once again. Let's see if Verstappen gets past on the second DRS zone. He is not going to be in front. Oh, lockups for both of them as Leclerc now is in front still again. But DRS on the main straight for Max Verstappen is going to be close enough for an overtake. I don't think so this lap. Yeah, Leclerc manages to get in front and stay in front, sorry, for this race. But yeah, Max Verstappen is still not giving up, Team Radio. He crossed the line again. So he is saying that Leclerc crossed the pit lane entry line once again. Let's see the replay right here from the helicopter. Yeah, so that is not the replay that we are seeing right now. Oh well, we'll have to see what comes out of that problem right there that Leclerc is dealing with of crossing the pit lane entry, or if it's not a thing, if that's just an optical illusion that Verstappen is perceiving. Yeah, okay, so Verstappen being told to keep his head on the driving and that they will sort it out, the problem there with Leclerc crossing the pit lane entry. Let's see, once again around the main straight, Max Verstappen with DRS on Leclerc. I don't think that's going to be enough either. Yeah, that's not going to be close. We have just a few laps left, 5 to the end of this race. And I think that's Leclerc going to take another win. Lewis Hamilton and Lance Stroll tussling it out there. Hamilton manages to stay behind. Oh, Stroll, sorry, manages to stay in front of Lewis Hamilton. And yeah, puts the Brit on his place, apparently. Is Hamilton going to get points? That's the question now. 5 laps to go. So that is Stroll finally conceding that position to Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton getting ahead and into the points. Hamilton is now on P10. So I'm gonna go to vote for driver of the day. I think it's gonna be Bottas, to be honest. He's done an amazing race. Or Alonso. Alonso's also been like extremely good this race. I think it's gonna be driver of the day. Verstappen and Leclerc battling it out once again, but still behind after a little bit of weaving there by Leclerc. But yeah, who do you think is gonna be driver of the day? Let's do a poll with who do you guys think? Hamilton, Norris, Bottas? I'm saying a lot of K-Mag, Leclerc. Okay, so I'm gonna say Leclerc, K-Mag, Bottas, and Alonso. I think those make sense. Gotta be Norris. Why? He just inherited a few positions with DNFs in front. Okay, so let's do a poll here on the chat. Let's see if we can get it set up. Okay, so Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton, or someone else. Who do you think is driver of the day today? Oh, so Verstappen goes around the inside. But is it going to be enough around lap 20, around corner 27, sorry, turn 27, with the RS on the back? Max Verstappen is extremely close, driver number 1, with the RS around the outside. Is he going to make the move stick? Charles Leclerc is now behind. Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with 3 laps to go. And that is Leclerc going wide and deep into turn 2. Driver of the day, Leclerc, Norris, or Hamilton? I think it's Magnussen. Magnussen or Alonso or Bottas. So none of the above. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting end to this race. Neither of them are going to let the other by easily. We have 3 laps to the end of this race, or 2 laps. Let me see. Lap 47 of 50. So Verstappen is now in front, leading from Leclerc. Leclerc with DRS on the back of the Red Bull. Is that going to be enough for another overtake with 2 laps to go? No, Verstappen is still ahead, not even close. So 2 laps to go. And yeah, the gap is, I think, getting a little bit bigger. So vote for driver of the day here. Another poll, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, or someone else. I'm going to have to go with someone else once again here. But yeah, you guys vote for driver of the day here on the chat. And don't forget to do so on the official website, f1.com/vote. Verstappen, though, did a magnificent race. Still started in 4th position and is now leading with 2 laps to go. Yeah, so it's a big disappointment for a few of the, well, for the midfield pretty much, but it is a big race for the guys in front. 2 laps to go, and yeah, Verstappen is in front, and it's a big race, as I said, for oh, yellow flag on the first sector, yellow flag. Someone is out. Oh, that is Stroll. Has Stroll crashed, or is it Albon? Someone crashed or something happened, or someone spun. Green flag. I think that was, yeah, Stroll who spun or something like that. We're probably going to see a replay now. Oh, that is some big sparks coming off the back of Stroll. He's going to get some blue flags now. I don't know if he's got a problem, if he's going to retire Stroll with 2 laps to go here. Oh, and that is also Albon retiring from this race. So I think those two got into a collision. And that is Albon and Stroll there. Let's see. DRS into turn 1. Oh, Stroll just turned in super aggressively. Albon had the position. Or Albon locked up. I mean, Albon was ahead going into turn 1, but I think Stroll could have left some more space. He closed the door when they were side by side, clearly. So 2 more retirements of this race. So only 2 guys finishing. We're going to have 12 finishers on this race, 12 finishers. So yellow flags on the first sector. I think that's going to stay to the end of the race. So that is Stroll and Albon also out. So 12 drivers finishing this race. Nico Hülkenberg on P12. Is Albon out? Stroll out? I think they both are. Albon has stopped. I don't think Stroll has, but this is the final lap. That is Leclerc going into turn 1, trying to get really close to Max Verstappen, but just not making it through. The gap was just a little bit too big, and that powertrain on the back of the Red Bull is a little bit faster on a straight line than the Ferrari. So I think that is just not a move that's going to be able to be made before the end of this race, with just less than 1 lap to go now. But it's all to play for here on going into the final corner with the 3rd DRS zone of the circuit. I think there's 3, yeah. So on the 3rd DRS zone, is it going to be enough to make the move on Max Verstappen? Verstappen team radio? How did it close up? So Max Verstappen thinks, yeah, Max Verstappen thinks Leclerc's gone too fast through the yellow flags. Let's see what is going to happen here. Is it going to go down to the wire? Turn 25, turn 26. Let's see, is it gonna be DRS enough to hold, to give that position to Leclerc before the end of this race? Max Verstappen is in front right now. DRS is open, and it's Max Verstappen who wins this race. Yes, Max Verstappen takes the victory away from Charles Leclerc, who finished in 2nd place, the first victory of the season for Verstappen, a double Ferrari podium once again for Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, with Perez in P4, Russell in P5, Ocon in P6. Then it is P7, P7 for Lando Norris, the first points for McLaren, with Gasly in P8, K-Mag P9, and Lewis Hamilton getting the final point in P10. Zhou Wan Yu is on P11 with Hülkenberg on P12, the last of our finishers. And Lance Stroll, with some heavy damage, managed to get his car there. Oh, no, Norris overtook Ocon. Oh, Norris overtook Ocon. This is not over yet. Oh, and he just missed out. Oh my God, they're side by side. Ocon just manages to stay in front of Lando Norris. Oh my God, I thought that was a done deal. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, so okay, Ocon manages to stay in front. Some good points for Alpine there on P6. Unfortunately, Alonso, who was going to be up in front there, so was Bottas. They are both out of this race. Yeah, so that is big disappointment for Alonso and for Bottas. But yeah, Verstappen has finally won the Grand Prix. Yeah, so what an intense race. A lot of emotions, a lot of happiness, a lot of sadness, a lot of frustration, a lot of weariness. But yeah, we finally managed to make it through. No one died, which is good. And yeah, we survived another race at Saudi Arabia, which is something. So yeah, driver of the day ended up being Charles Leclerc. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this race. I know I did. Um, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And oh, yes. So subscribe if you haven't already. If you like what I have to say, if you like my commentary and stuff, you can check my channel out. The link is in the description. Raian F1. And yeah, as always, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys, and yeah, see you in Australia.